They're the ones that got to go out and run around and, and tackle and be aggressive. And when you get the ball, express yourself. And I just thought Leicester City did that today in abundance. They defended really well. They were compact. And then they hit them on the break. So I think the game plan was spot on.
Which managers gave the best team talk for you? In your
no, we didn't get many team talk. We just got shouted at.
It wasn't talking, it was shouting.
We got shouted at a lot. But to be fair, when you win, you don't get shouted at. But if you're not doing your job, you're going to... Sometimes it's not even shouting, Seema. They just look at you like, don't do that again.
Enough.
Yeah, it's enough. And then you got to know.
He played for United. They did not get shouted at. They won most of their games.
Some people got shouted.
Some people didn't. Not Owen Hargreaves. If you watch football, he would have got shouted at. He was too silky.
Yeah.
Let's move on. I got shouted at loads of times. I won't tell you managers.
Well, look, he's delivered. I mean, it's brilliant that he got off to a good start, but now he's got some big games coming up and he has to recreate and develop this form and make sure he can continue it, really.
Yeah, they got another big game on the weekend. You see that. He just probably wants more time with them on the training pitch to implement his style of things. But yeah, they only had a few days to work with him. But as I said, what I've seen for the pictures of Ruud van Nistelrooy, he impresses me. He comes out, he speaks ever so well. He'll be happy with the amount of chances they gave up to West Ham. He knows on another day, if they give them chances, if you go to Brighton and give them chances to Brighton, they'll punish you. So he actually knows that. There's a lot to work with, but it's all about getting the points. It's all about getting the 3 points. Leicester fans go home happy. That's all you can do for your manager in your first game.
So he impressed you, but what about your former club's performance today, Crystal Palace?
Yeah, it's all about getting 3 points. I think it was a brilliant 3 points. It was a fantastic finish from Mateta. Palace were the better team. I think they were the better team. I was so surprised how passive Ipswich were. And they didn't, and the fans were so quiet, but it's a good little ball from Eze, and this is brilliant. I don't know what Greaves, the centre-half's doing. That's not defending, by the way. But once he gets in there, it's a great little composure and a great dink over the goalie. But he starts it, Mateta. So he wins the header, and then he gets on his bike. And once it comes to him, I know Owen's not happy with defending, and neither am I, because I don't know what Greaves is doing. It's not great feet from Mateta, but finish is fantastic.
Oh, the finish is... I mean, it's so hard to dink somebody with your left foot. Yeah. He's right-footed, so you rarely see it with your weaker foot, but physically his size wins the header, and then they counter-attack. He's a player. I really like Mateta. Obviously, they got to keep Eze fit and find a little bit more on the right-hand side. Olise was massive for them. Sarr, it's explosive, but he hasn't really produced those moments that Olise had last season, so Kamada maybe could do that, but let's be honest, Crystal Palace were by far the better team today. Ipswich Town, against Tottenham, amazing. Against Man United at home, exceptional. Today, didn't pack a punch. That wasn't their best. And maybe when they play teams and they have more of the ball, maybe that's not their game. Maybe they want to play a little bit more on the break. But yeah, I think Kieran can be disappointed today.
Well, Mateta scored tonight, and look, he's on a list with some big names. He's scored the most Premier League goals since Glasner, only third in that list, behind, of course, Erling Haaland and Cole Palmer. That's pretty impressive. That's
amazing. You know, when the penny dropped for Mateta, he tucked his shirt into his shorts. I've seen it. When I've seen him at the end of the season, that's what he said. Since he's been tucking his shirt in, he said he feels like a proper number. Nah. He's Owen spot on. He's a top player. Elise, Eze were creating chances for him. And he's just a handful. He knows how to score goals. You saw it there. Everyone thinks he's just a big target man. That's more than a target man.
He had a little step over there.
He had a step over, thing. He believes in himself. And I speak to the director of football many a times. And when he wasn't playing, I was like, why is Mateta not playing? He was like, he needs a run of games. And when he gets a run of games, he'll start delivering. So he is producing, and fair play to him, because very good number 9.
Well, let's get some Crystal Palace reaction now and hear from their manager, Oliver Glasner.
Oliver, first away league victory of the season, a very satisfying one and an excellent goal.
Oh yes, absolutely. So we are very pleased with the result today. And today it was not about performing brilliant. It was we expected a big fight, and it was a big fight. And waiting for the moments, we had 3-4 moments, and then we took the decisive goal. It was an amazing goal, building up from in behind, and then there was an amazing finish from JP Mateta, and then we had the chance. We had the momentum on our side. We had the 2-3 chances to decide the game. We didn't take them, and at the end, to be honest, we had to be a little bit lucky in one set play situation, but overall I think we deserve to win.
Jean-Philippe Mateta's been terrific for you. He scored 17 Premier League goals now since you became coach at Crystal Palace, and in that 9 months there's only Erling Haaland and Cole Palmer who've scored more. That's an extraordinary statistic for him.
Oh yes, we know, and that when GP gets the ball inside the box, he's such a good finish that it's mostly is a goal. But today it's also how he, won the 1v1 duel and the dribbling and then being under pressure and staying calm. But this is what we see in training. So it's all our target from all of us is that he gets more balls inside the box. This is where we're a little bit suffering at the moment because he's the guy with the best finish in our team, and this he showed today.
Yeah, impressive stat there from Mateta. Actually, he's only behind Zaha and Benteke in terms of Premier League goals for Crystal Palace as well. And there are Crystal Palace's next 6 fixtures. A big one, Clinton, against Manchester City. Not easy at all.
Yeah, a bit easy, them games. No, they're all tough. Man City's going to be tough. Brighton's the derby. Got Arsenal. And then after that, you look at it, you say Bournemouth, Southampton, they're the ones you got.
Bournemouth are playing well.
They are playing well and it's away, but you've got to try and get points there. Southampton at home, that's a must-win. And then Chelsea at home is going to be difficult. They knew there was going to be tough games. That's why I thought tonight was such a crucial game to try and get the 3 points. But listen, Arsenal and Man City won't want to go to Sellers Park. Owen will tell you, it's a difficult place to go. I know Arsenal are in fantastic form. Man City ain't in good form at the moment, so it's a difficult place. But, yeah, it's a confidence booster for Palace this evening. Very
difficult run on paper, that is.
Very, but they got a good manager, a really good manager. They got a really good goalkeeper, Dean Henderson. I think the back line is super solid. They probably just need to get Wharton back. I think he's very close. Obviously, Doucouré went off today. He's probably not been his best, but they got a lot of good players, and I think they won't be favourites in those games. But we saw last season they can go on a run, and they can hurt anyone. So I think they'll be quietly confident they're going to go on a little run here.
Yeah, and as we've seen tonight with the teams in action at the bottom, it's very, very tight there. Of course, Crystal Palace only 3 points above it. Points are imperative because by the end of that run, it could be a very different situation.
It could be, but then the other teams in and around them have to pick up points, and there's a lot. It's like there's a big game tomorrow. Everton are playing Wolves, so there's a lot of difficult games, and then you see Everton's run after that is ridiculously harder than Crystal Palace. So, but they do need to pick up points, and I think they will pick up a few points for sure.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's been such a significant day and the matches will continue over the week. My thanks to Clinton Morrison and Owen Hargreaves, as always. Thank you for your company as well. And the story of the night really goes to the Foxes. It was a flying start under their new manager, Ruud van Nistelrooy, who gets off to a winning start. We'll see you tomorrow for more Premier League action. Bye-bye.
Where do you think Ipswich Town and Crystal Palace end up in the Premier League table? Let's talk about Ipswich Town Football Club. Ipswich Town is one of the 3 clubs promoted from Championship last season. Their history in the past is actually one of the best, although most people today hardly know them. They won the league title in the 1961-1962 season. They came runners-up in 1980-1981 and 1981-1982 seasons. They won the FA Cup in 1978. They won the UEFA Cup, currently Champions League, in 1981. Ipswich finished within top 6 of the First Division, Premier League, for 10 years. Their recent revival started in 2021 when US investment group Game Changer 20 Limited had purchased a majority stake in the club. They were in the 3rd tier of English football, League One. They appointed their current manager, Kieran McKenna, who was the first team coach of Manchester United, in December 2021. The club finished the season at the 11th position. The 2022-2023 season saw them on a run of 18 unbeaten league games, coming runners-up in the league, which secures their promotion to the Championship League, 2nd tier. Last season 2023-2024 saw Kieran McKenna lead Ipswich Town FC to a record back-to-back promotion, finishing runners-up again and thereby securing top-flight status in the Premier League. The problem for newly promoted sides in the top league is that it is very, very hard for them to compete in an ever-improving league with plenty of big-name clubs. Last season highlighted that very problem, where all the 3 promoted sides were relegated back immediately. Ipswich Town will have to be resolute and consistent if they are to avoid relegation. The key for them will be their performance at home. If they can avoid defeat at their turf for majority of the games, they should be okay. And for a newly promoted side, they are a good team and show lots of promise. Opta Analytics predicts them to finish 19th in the end and thereby get relegated back to Championship. However, we believe if one of the newly promoted team is to survive, it might be Ipswich Town. Comment your opinion below. Let's talk about Crystal Palace Football Club. In their history, Crystal Palace FC have rarely been relegated from the top league. It happened twice, once for 3 seasons in the 70s. And the second time, they were relegated in 1998, went into financial difficulties, going into administration twice. They came back to the Premier League in 2013 and have stayed since then. During 1980s and 1990s they became contenders for the title, although their highest position is coming in 3rd place in the 1990-1991 season. They reached the FA Cup finals in 1990 and 2016 and were beaten by Manchester United in both occasions. Currently, Oliver Glasner's side are in the mix of flirting with relegation. Realistically though, Crystal Palace too have too much quality to finish in the bottom 3. If their position trends of the last few years in the Premier League continues exactly, they should finish in the 9th position, because the last 3 seasons saw them finish 12th, 11th and 10th respectively. Opta Analytics predict them finishing in the 15th position. We believe anywhere around the middle of the league is likely. Where in your opinion will Crystal Palace end up?